Even if I don't finish, we need others to continue. It's got to keep going without me. Terrence Stanley Fox was born in July 28, 1958, in Manitoba. He was a humanitarian, athlete, and cancer research activist, and a Canadian hero. He embarked his journey across Canada in 1980 to raise awareness and money for cancer research. In his younger years, he played basketball for his high school and SFU, but due to malignant tumor in his right leg, had to stop. But he did not stop. He played wheelchair basketball and won 3 national championships. He started a worldwide legacy and is now known for the Marathon of Hope. Yes.
Terry Fox first started noticing pain in his right knee in 1976. In early March, Terry Fox returned from a training run in incredible pain, so sore he could barely move. The following day, he went to a family doctor who suspected the problem was very serious. Raleigh Fox drove his son to the Royal Columbian Hospital in New Westminster. Here, he was quickly seen by an orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Michael Piper. Piper suspected that Fox had osteogenic sarcoma, a type of bone cancer that often starts in the knee. His suspicions were confirmed following a bone scan on March 4th. Because the cancer spreads quickly, doctors felt Fox's best chances of survival was amputation of his right leg followed by chemotherapy. Over the next couple of days, Fox was surrounded by family and friends, including Doug Allward. Fox's classmate from the kinesiology program at SFU brought his homework to the hospital. The night before the surgery, Terry Fleming, his former coach, gave Fox a Runner's World article about Dick Trump, an amputee who had run the New York City Marathon. The following morning, Fox showed the article to nurse Judith Ray, saying, "Someday I'm going to do something like that." On March 9, 1977, when Fox was only 18, doctors amputated his right leg, 15 centimeters above the knee. Within weeks of his surgery, Fox was walking with the help of an artificial leg. Less than a month later, he was playing golf with his father. In addition to physiotherapy, Fox began a 16-month program of chemotherapy at the British Columbia Cancer Control Agency in Vancouver. In the summer of 1977, Fox received a phone call from Rick Hansen, who asked if he would like to join the Vancouver Cable Cars wheelchair basketball team. As with everything he did, Fox participated hard and with his hands blistered and bleeding as he learned a different way to play basketball, all while undergoing chemotherapy. By the end of the summer, he had chosen for the team that would compete at the 1977 National Wheelchair Basketball Championships in Edmonton. In the 1979-80 season, Fox was chosen for the All-Star team of the North American Wheelchair Basketball Association. By that point, he was playing 3 nights a week using a wheelchair given to him as a gift by his father's coworker at the Canadian National Railway. He would also train in his wheelchair along roads and pathways, not content with level surfaces, seeing as he climbed both Westwood and Burnaby Mountain in his wheelchair. However, Fox had another goal. During his month of chemotherapy, he witnessed the suffering of many others afflicted with cancer and was determined to do something about it. On the night before his surgery, as mentioned before, he had read an article about Dick Trump, an amputee who had run the New York City Marathon, and inspired by Trump's example, Fox said he would run across Canada to raise awareness and funds for cancer research. When Fox first started training, he ran at night around the cinder track at the local junior high school. In mid-February 1979, he could run a half a mile around the track, and by the end of the month, he was running a full mile. His prosthesis Ben Spicer modified his prosthesis so that it would better withstand the impact of running. Even with the modification, though, it was still awkward and uncomfortable. Characteristically, however, Terry persisted. By mid-August, he was preparing for a race in Prince George. Although he had originally planned to run in the 8.5-mile race, he ended up running the 17-mile version with friend Doug Allward and brother Daryl. Fox finished 10 minutes behind the final 2-legged runner, which still was very impressive. The Prince George race convinced Fox that he could start his run across Canada the following spring. With a start date in mind, it was time to tell his parents of his plan. Until that point, only Allward and another friend, Rika Noda, had known anything about it. His mother, Betty, thought he was crazy. while his father simply asked when he planned to start. By the time Fox had began his Marathon of Hope in April 1980, he had logged more than 5,000 kilometers on training runs and had enlisted the support of the Canadian Cancer Society and the War Amputation of Canada, as well as companies including Ford, Imperial Oil, and Adidas. His letter to the Canadian Cancer Society eloquently sums up his motivation for the Marathon of Hope. While Fox began his cross-country Marathon of Hope in April 12, 1980, dipping his artificial leg in the Atlantic Ocean near St. John's, Newfoundland. It was a cold, wet start to his epic journey. By the time he reached Ontario, Fox was a national star, feted by thousands at appearances organized by the Canadian Cancer Society. Fox met Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, British actress Maggie Smith, and NHL greats Bobby Orr and Daryl Sittler, who also presented Fox with his 1980 NHL All-Star sweater. Despite the crowds, it was also safer running in Ontario, seeing as on several occasions, Terry had come close to being hit by a car or truck while running across the Atlantic provinces and Quebec. In Ontario, the provincial police accompanied him on his journey. However, Fox was forced to stop running just outside Thunder Bay, Ontario on September 1st, 1980, because, sadly, the cancer had invaded his lungs. And by this time, he had run for 143 days and covered 5,373 kilometers.
Although it was difficult to get attention in the beginning, enthusiasm soon grew, and the money collected along his route began to mount. He ran close to 42 kilometers a day through Canada's Atlantic provinces, Quebec and Ontario. On September 1st, 1980, Terry Fox had started out strong and felt confident. The road was lined with people shouting, "Don't give up, you can make it," words that touched him deep and lifted up his spirits. But after 18 miles, he started coughing and felt a pain in his lower chest. He stopped running right outside of Thunder Bay, Ontario. After 143 days and 5,373 kilometers, he had found out that his primary cancer had spread from his leg into his lungs. The day after he had come out to the public and told them he had lung cancer, the chairman and CEO of Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts, Isidore Sharp, promised Terry that he won't rest until Terry's dream to cure cancer is completed. Just 7 days later, on September 9th, 1980, the CTV network organizes a telethon lasting 5 hours and raising over $10 million. Several months later, Terry's dream of raising $1 from every Canadian is realized. In February 1981, the population of Canada is 24.1 million, and the Marathon of Hope raised just over $24.17 million. Sadly, short after that, on June 28, 1981, after his chemotherapy and interferon, Terry Fox passes away 1 month short of his 23rd birthday at the Royal Columbian Hospital right here in New Westminster, British Columbia.
Terry's impact on the world was not lost after his death. His legacy lives on through the Marathon of Hope. Months after his death, on August 29th of 1981, Terry was inducted into the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame. The following month of that year in September, over 760 places across the world held the first Terry Fox runs, an annual tradition that is still ongoing. In the first year of the Terry Fox runs, over 300,000 runners participated, and over $3.5 million more were raised. Terry's cause has since been organized through the Terry Fox Foundation. The Terry Fox Foundation is an organization that puts the money donated from the annual runs to cancer research. Last year, $26.6 million were given to the programs dedicated to research on lung, brain, and pediatric cancer. In total, almost 1,300 programs are funded as of today. Throughout the years, 15 roads, 14 schools, and a mountain have been named after Terry Fox. Now, in 2017, over $715 million have been raised in Terry's name. 25 countries hold Terry Fox runs every year, totaling more than 900 individual events, with over 3 million kids taking part in the Terry Fox school runs. Over 30 years after his death, Terry Fox still inspires people to contribute to cancer research and is one of the most notable heroes in Canadian history.